right back into Babble and Play, and we're going right back into Kyle is Famous. Now, on my last video, I went ahead and I knocked out 4 different endings, but there are a whopping 28. 28. So, kind of got our work cut out for us, and the best I can hope for is to not sit there and just talk smack the entire time. Don't know how well that's going to go because I can never keep my mouth shut about anything, for I am smart of mouth and dumb of ass. So, yeah. Let's get to it. Let me just go ahead, scuttle myself back in the corner. Boop, 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 boop. A little more. Boop. And remember, this game is free to play on Steam, and it's just something nice to blow off some steam, waste some time, just, have some fun. Ready to get into it? Let's do it! Kyle wakes up. He is famous. Kyle is host of the most popular talk show in recent memory, Stay Up Late with Kyle. Stay Up Late with Kyle has grown in popularity quickly in the last year, and the public has noticed. Inside has called Kyle a most excellent dumpy white man. Top Tech noted that Kyle is inspiring youth to explore STEM fields. Most other talk shows are dedicated to discussing Kyle and his personal details. Gonna leave that one alone. Most online videos are best of clips taken from Kyle's latest broadcast. The eye of the world is upon Kyle. Tonight is Kyle's most important guest interview yet. Stay Up Late with Kyle will be featuring Rachel May. She's a kind and loving philanthropist. She is dear to the hearts of many. This interview requires preparation. Kyle cracked his eyes open, knowing today was his last chance to prepare for the interview. Kyle has 30 hours left. He must choose his actions wisely. Let's go. Alright, so Kyle's first decision of the morning was made wisely. It wasn't. So we can either wither away or exit the bed. Let's exit the bed. Kyle exited his bed and took a quick glance around his room. How was it getting out of bed was an hour? Homeboy wastes a lot of time. We can open the closet, we can sit at the desk, we can scavenge, or we can exit the bedroom into the hallway. Let's scavenge. Kyle quickly crouched down on the floor, realizing his immediate need for... Let's go with gossip.
What are you
Kyle firmly pressed his ear into the carpet, hoping to hear some stray words from the neighbors below. I heard Rachel May is going on a trip out of the country soon. Oh, girlfriend, tell me more. And the more is... Well, what I will tell you is that every night I don a mask that looks like a bug and fight misdoers. There was a stunned silence. Rightfully so. Then a door opened and someone exited the neighbor's apartment. They were probably just like, yeah, I'm out. I'm out. I'm happy for you, but I'm out. That's quite enough. Kyle returned to the center of his bedroom. Let's open the closet. Kyle opened the closet. It was dark and he could only really see his hanging shirts. Let's choose an outfit. Kyle decided to take some time to choose the perfect outfit, knowing how important appearances are. We can go jeans and swimming goggles. We can go skunk pasties. It is supposed to be hot girl summer, so... yeah. You can pick a slick suit. You can pick a suit of armor. So, you know what? I think we're going to go with slick suit. Now, in the last video, I did pick slick suit for the regular run-of-the-mill good interview ending. So, the chest pockets were full of random knickknacks. Forgot that. But somehow he was miraculous in cramming his dumpy body into that suit. But we're going to go a different path. This isn't going to be the same one. I want to give you guys all the endings. Back to the room. He returns to the center of the bedroom. Well, he could sit at the desk. Made his way over to the desk and sat down. Let's check the desk drawers. He opened the drawers and grabbed one of the items stored there. We have a sorted change, we have a flashlight, we have a small key. I believe the small key was for the pantry. So we're going to grab a sorted change, because why not? Kyle scooped up the change scattered around the desk drawer. Back to the desk. Now we can either write notes for the interview, or we can go back to the room. Let's go back to the room. We're going to exit into the hallway. Kyle walked into the small hallway that connects the rooms of his apartment together. So, we got checked locked door, move to kitchen, return to bedroom, leave apartment. We gotta leave the apartment. Kyle walked out into the middle of the road and took a long, pondering look around him. Because homeboy apparently is living in a music video. Let's see. Let's visit our downstairs neighbor. Get more of this superhero nonsense. Kyle approached his downstairs neighbor's door and knocked. A middle-aged woman named Gabby answered the door. She looked at Kyle expectantly. Now, we can greet and start a conversation, consumer, or scream and spin. Let's get the conversation going. Good morning, neighbor, said Kyle cheerfully. Gabby looked at Kyle expectantly. Let's ask Gabby about being a vigilante. Gabby, asked Kyle, are you the bug vigilante? For a moment, Gabby looked stunned. Then she realized his seriousness. Gabby nodded once. Then the door shut in Kyle's face. Back to the streets. Kyle walked out into the middle of the road, once again giving that long, pondering look around him. Well, we can't go back to the apartment, but we can visit the tech store. Kyle walked into the clean, white tech store. He's created by Techno Jim, an elaborate cutout mascot with flashing lights. Now, in the last video, we did steal Techno Jim, and pandemonium ensued. So today, we are going to buy batteries with change. Just because. Kyle counted out $1.98 in pennies and nickels and traded them for a small pack of batteries. Back to the tech shop. Once again, he's in this clean white tech shop. You got Techno Jim just sitting there waiting for you. We can steal Techno Jim, or we can ask the attendant for free samples. I can't imagine what free samples would be in a tech shop, but let's see. I'll ask the store attendant whether or not they offered any free samples to important customers. The attendant gave Kyle a confused and slightly vacant look. Kyle began to beg for a free sample. Wanting Kyle to leave, the attendant grabbed a decrepit phone meant for spare parts and held it out. We're just going to go ahead and grab it with our hand. I think we've been weird enough for one day. We don't need to grab it with our teeth. Grab it with the hand. And now it's showtime. Kyle hurried to the set. Sitting across from his host chair was a glamorous woman with an air of genuinity. As Kyle approached her, Rachel looked up and smiled. Let's approach her. Good evening, Kyle, she said, looking him in the eyes. I've been looking forward to being here. Kyle responded. We can answer politely, or we can scream and spin in circles. Let's answer politely. And I as well, Rachel, answered Kyle, extending his hand in greeting. You're our most welcome guest. So they shook on it. After other mild exchanges of pleasantries, Kyle and Rachel were prompted to take their places for the broadcast. And after seating, studio lights brightened and the cameras clicked on. Let's gossip about neighbor. Good evening, everybody, said Kyle. My neighbor is a bug vigilante. Nothing more to say on the matter, he fell silent. Rachel, also on camera, stared at her hands and wondered when she was going to be introduced. You're not. It's all about the bug vigilante. You're done. The producers started cutting to different camera angles to break the tension. Kyle continued to remain silent and stared forward blankly. After several minutes, neighbor Gabby walked out onto the set. Well, you did kind of out her, dude, so... Not cool. Not cool at all. Hi, everyone, she said, smiling hollowly. My name is Gabby, and I am not a bug vigilante. She did everything but kick him under the table and tell him to shut the fuck up. False. Kyle looked at Gabby and then returned to staring forward. Gabby began to reply, but was interrupted by a bug-shaped intercom on her belt. Yeah, that ain't helping your case, lady, not at all. Bug girl, it squawked. A robbery is in progress at East 3rd. Report immediate. Gabby threw the intercom on the ground and crushed it under her foot. I mean, I don't know how expensive those are, but come on, that was unnecessary. After a beat, she spoke again. Something has come up suddenly, and I must go. Gabby left the set. Well, said Kyle, that's all the time we have for tonight. Thanks for joining us, Rachel. Kyle got up, shook Rachel's hand again, and walked past the cameras, leaving her alone. That's kind of awkward. Not knowing what else to do, the producer ended the broadcast. And in the coming days, fans of both Rachel and Kyle dubbed the show as a masterpiece of television. Stay up late with Kyle. Kyle's online pages were updated to reflect this broadcast as the most popular ever. Kyle's producer later tried to have Rachel on the show again, but she was very, very, very busy. The end. There we have another ending. Talked about Gabby. We didn't get to use the battery or the phone, but we got to gossip about our neighbor, so take that for what it is. But we got to keep the phone. We got to keep the phone on the next go-ahead, so Kyle's first decision of the morning was made wisely. So we're going to do what we all do in bed, browse social media. Because I don't think there's anyone alive that doesn't immediately, when they open their eyes, don't reach for their phone and start scrolling. You can go ahead and tell me I'm wrong, but am I? Let's browse. Kyle started to scroll through news articles on his phone. Let's read an article. Stay up late with Kyle ranked number 1 and 2 show on television. Read more. New East Bridge being constructed after being found to not actually exist. Authorities investigating. So, the bridge is being constructed because it doesn't exist. Isn't that why bridges are made? Because of that whole need to exist thing? Okay. Another grand larceny and crime spree streak. Evidence points to perpetrator fleeing the country. Ooh. Rachel May to unexpectedly leave the country on very, very long vacation after interview tonight. Well, ain't that interesting? Let's get out of bed. I looked at exited bed and took a quick glance around. We got a scavenge, and I think we got a gossip.
What are you so happy about?
Here's some stray words from the neighbors. I heard Rachel May is going on a trip out of the country soon. And here's our neighbor once again coming out as a vigilante. And yeah, once again, the friend Gabby was gabbing with decided, I'm out. And just bounced. Now then, let's sit at our desk. And let's check the desk drawer. Because I remember, yep, and there was a flashlight. Because I'm thinking, remember how the closet was dark and all you could see was his shirts? No batteries. Boo. Back to desk. Made his way to the desk and sat down. Checked the desk drawer. Let's grab that assorted change, shall we? Yeah. Back to desk. We have 11 hours left. Let's get out of the room. We'll leave the apartment. We'll visit the tech store. And we'll buy some batteries with our change. Insert in the flashlight. Back to the tech shop. Turn to the street. Return to apartment. Return to bedroom. Open closet. And inspect with flashlight. And I didn't get to check any of it. This is what I get. I try to do too many goals at once. So, oh, that's right. Because of the fact that I didn't get to go in the closet, I wasn't wearing any clothes. Rachel's smile quickly turned to shock as she realized Kyle had not put on clothes that day. So you're telling me homeboy went to the store and got batteries naked? Just sausage swinging, bush in the breeze, naked. Power to him. Kyle waved and smiled broadly. Rachel uncomfortably averted her eyes. Kyle started making his rounds around the room, greeting each crew member, none of whom looked at him directly. Does that go back to earlier when they referred to him as Dumpy White Man? Might have something to do with that. As it became apparent that Kyle had no intention of leaving, Rachel made some excuses and exited the set. One by one, the crew followed suit, which is the one thing he's not wearing. He's not wearing a suit, except his birthday suit. Kyle was left all alone. And Kyle prepared by being a nudist. Well, time to reset. So we still have the broken phone. So we're going to browse social media until we get to the part where it says that Rachel is leaving the country. Goes through articles on his phone about how his show is 1 and 2. So he can sit there and pat himself on the back while giving himself a hand job while he's at it. About the bridge being constructed after I found it's not actually existing. Another grand larceny and crime spree. Crime streak. Crime spree streak. Blech. Words are hard. Evidence points to perpetrator fleeing the country. And then we have Rachel May, who's unexpectedly leaving the country on very, very long vacation after interview tonight. Let's get out of bed. Go in the closet. And this time we will actually put on clothes. We will put on clothes. And since we want to kind of call her out about it, so we're going to put on a sleek suit. Yeah. I still don't get why the chest pockets were filled with random knickknacks. And as I said in the last video, you should just be happy to have pockets. Hashtag gimme pockets, right, ladies? No, I'm never going to be done being awkward. You're just going to have to suffer through this with me. Alright, let's, what do we have to do? That's right, interview. Wrote down his first question. Now, I was originally offended about the whole "are you a mother" thing, because why are you asking a female guest if she's a mother? So, but basic. We're gonna ask about diet tips. What's your funniest story? Do you ever smile? And I purposely ran over a puppy. Is that just to see their reaction? Do the funniest story. And for the last question, we're going to flat out ask, are you guilty? Kyle ripped his page of notes out of the notebook and got up from the desk. Back to desk. I have 13 hours left. Can I check the drawer? Sorted change, flashlight, small key. I don't need anything from the drawer, even though that still ate up an hour. Seriously, how big is your bedroom that you sit there and it takes you an hour to go from your bed to your desk? Ridiculous. Back to room. Out into the hallway. We've got to move to the kitchen. We've got to open the fridge. We've got to prepare breakfast. But we are not going to be smashing the breakfast of poached eggs and toast along with a small fruit cup and grilled sausage, because that would be silly. We are going to eat them. I could really live without the sounds of that eating right in my ear, though. Return to the kitchen. Return to hallway. Leave apartment. Let's go visit our downstairs neighbor. Kyle approached his neighbor's door and knocked. A middle-aged woman named Gabby answered the door. She looked Kyle expectantly. Agreed to start conversation, which we could not do, because now it's showtime. Kyle hurried to the set. And there sits Rachel May, a glamorous woman with an air of genuinity. Kyle approached her. Rachel looks up and smiles. Approach Rachel. They do their pleasantries. Good evening, Kyle. I've been looking forward to being here. As much as I am tempted to scream and spin in circles, I'll just answer politely. Just answer politely. And I as well, Rachel, answered Kyle, extending his hand in greeting. You are most welcome guest. They shake hands. They sit there and take their places and blah, blah, blah. Seeing the studio looks bright and the cameras click on. Let's start the broadcast. Good evening, everyone, said Kyle, looking at the camera. Welcome back to Staying Up Late with Kyle. Introduce Rachel. I have the pleasure of interviewing the lovely Rachel May, who needs no more introduction. Become Rachel May or more? I'm curious now. Become Rachel May. However, said Kyle, suddenly dropping his voice, Rachel May is not sitting next to me. More. She is not new to this show. She did not walk in before me. In fact, said Kyle, I am Rachel May. Rachel looked at Kyle confused and silently mouthed the words, Who? You are who? I think I would have mouthed, what the fuck, but to each their own. Kyle stood up quickly and threw his arms high above him, pointing upwards. I have never been Kyle, he shouted. I have never been the host of the show Stay Up Late with Kyle. Kyle looked and pointed directly at the camera. I am here for but one reason. To interview myself. Kyle sat down in his chair and went to produce the notes he had taken earlier. Kyle read the first question on his list. Are you a mother? Ah, I'm glad you asked, said Kyle. Yes, I am. Or, yes, you are, said Kyle, trying to figure out who was talking to whom. Or, I am. In a fit, Kyle continued to re-answer his question, trying to come up with the correct phrasing. There ain't any saving that. Nah. Rachel spoke up. Kyle, I'm not a mother at all, so it really doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter. Lies! Impossible! I don't believe it! Kyle banged his fist on the chair. Ow. Kyle, I've never been in a position for that. Really just focused on my career. All you need to do is ask. Rachel smiled sweetly. Kyle was silent for a moment, then realized he had no idea of what he was doing. He decided to let Rachel talk. So, what about your career? Do you enjoy what you do? How'd you get into it? Two continued talking for the better part of an hour. Kyle asking questions, Rachel answering accordingly. So, back on track, sort of. Eventually, Kyle's producer signaled Kyle that it was time to stop. No, we're done. Broadcast ended. The crew, Rachel, and Kyle said their goodbyes and returned home. But Kyle continued to think about Rachel after the interview ended. Something about Rachel has struck Kyle. He wasn't exactly sure what. But he did know that he was interested in hearing that she was single. Really, bro? Really? Really, bro? That's a legit ending? That is a legit ending. Noticed Rachel. Why? Alright. I want to get at least one good ending before I end this short video. And then try to wrap my head around... It's a good game. I like this game. I like all the twists and turns. I like the fact that you sit there and like, what? Why? So, we're going to... It's the first decision of the morning again. We're once again going to browse social media. Let's read an article. Once again, because the show is ranked 1 and 2. Read more. Wonder what happens if we just stay in bed scrolling through Instagram. Let's find out. Let's do that. See about the bridge after being found does not exist. Another grand larceny in crime spree streak. Like, you don't have to put crime spree streak. You just put crime spree. Evidence points to perpetrator fleeing the country. And who else is fleeing the country? Rachel May. For a very, very long vacation after the interview tonight. Who is the bug vigilante? Recently spotted pursuing larcenists. So we have Rachel May, who's pretending to be a philanthropist, who is really a larcenist. And then we have our downstairs neighbor that's a bug vigilante. And somehow the most normal person, the dumpy white man in the middle, Kyle, and he's just in the middle of this swirling shitstorm. Yeah. Kyle fails to show up to several charity events. Oops. So your show is number 1 and number 2, but you don't show up to charity events. That kind of makes you look like a D-bag, bro. Let's read more. Bug Vigilante shows up to charity events with fresh baked pastries. Donations flourish. Well, isn't that nice? Read more. Hot dogs making resurgence as fuel source for both humans and tugboats. Why not? Read more. Phone model recalled. Techno gym stores blame overuse by customers. Is this supposed to be a warning that the phone's going to explode on me? Let's read more. Kyle's phone exploded in his hands from overuse. I knew it! I called it! Get out of bed. Kyle exited bed and took a quick glance around. Let's get dressed. We gotta choose an outfit. We already did the nudist ending, so we'll go jeans and swim goggles. Kyle decided on a fashion-forward casual style. He could barely see out of the goggles. It's called fashion. It's called couture. Okay? Back to room. Do we want to sit at the desk? Do we want to scavenge? Why don't we exit the bedroom? Let's move to the kitchen. We're just going to go ahead and eat breakfast. Because if we don't eat, that could be bad. Let's return to the kitchen. Return to the hallway. Leave apartment. Go visit our downstairs neighbor. We went to the door, we knocked, and there it is. There's Gabby. And this time we did not get the gossip about her being a vigilante, so we're going to just greet and start a conversation. Good morning, neighbor, said Kyle cheerfully. Gabby looked at him expectantly. So we're going to ask Gabby about Rachel. Gabby, Kyle asked, what are your true thoughts about Rachel May? Oh, Rachel? She's such a wonderful woman. Her generous acts have inspired more good work than bad. Gabby trailed off, not meeting Kyle's eyes. That's sus. That's super sus. After several uncomfortable minutes of silence, Kyle turned around and left. Back to the street, and it's about time for the interview. We are not prepared. Our phone exploded in our hand. We are wearing goggles and no shirt, but at least we ate breakfast. So, back to the street, and now it's showtime. He hurried to the set, and there sits a glamorous woman, the Rachel May. Let's approach her. As they greet each other, good evening, Kyle. And he responds, we're going to answer... let's answer politely. We did not prepare for this interview at all, so this ought to be interesting. See, they, most welcome. Shake hands. Didn't his hands explode in his phone? That tends to mangle your hands, so this ought to be interesting. Does he just have stumps now, or are they just bloody? You're most welcome guest. Shake hands. So, I guess his hands were okay to shake. After other mild pleasantries, prompt to take their places for the broadcast. Alright, let's start the broadcast. Welcome back to Stay Up Late with Kyle. Let's introduce Rachel. Once again, we have the option to become Rachel May, or we could just, not. Well, why don't we let Kyle be Kyle this time around? I'm saying, play her interviewing the lovely Rachel May, who needs no more introduction. More? And there she is, waving at the camera. Hello, Kyle! I'm glad to be here. As I'm sure she coached herself to do. Well, I'm sure we'll have a lot to discuss, so we might as well dive right in, said Kyle. I'm very ready, said Rachel with a winning smile. Oh yeah, totally coached. Totally coached. In a shock, Kyle realized he had never bothered to prepare any notes for the interview. Yeah, slacker boy! Knowing he had the eyes of millions upon him, Kyle came up with a solution quickly. Now, we can blame Rachel for lack of notes, we can run away, or we can play dead. We're gonna blame Rachel. We're gonna turn it on. Your fault! It's all your fault! Rachel, I need to be honest. You're not terribly interesting. I could not think of what I should ask you. Damn! In fact, continued Kyle, I would far rather interview a fish than I would you. That's getting a little harsh, my dude. And furthermore, said Kyle, I'm not sure I could tell the difference between you and a fish. Damn. I'm starting to feel a little bad. Kyle leaned back in his chair and desperately hoped the blame had been shifted adequately. You just look like a dick, dude. Dude. You just look like a dick. Rachel glowered at Kyle. Rightfully so. Punch him in the dick. Kyle glowered back. Awkward. Rachel left the studio. Rightfully so. Kyle no longer had a guess and spent the next 42 minutes staring at the camera silently. What the hell? No longer had a guess and spent the next 42 minutes staring at the camera silently. It's like something a serial killer would do. What the actual fuck? And Kyle prepared by blaming others. And just like that, we have another 4 endings. Another 4 endings to Kyle is Famous. So I'm just going to cut this off here. Yeah, so that was interesting. So I'm just going to cut this off, and I will be back at 5 o'clock with more. So everyone be good. Don't be a douche. Don't blame other people if you're not prepared. Alright, later taters.